When it comes to judging a case, what are your guiding principles?
Number one, you have to start by listening. I mean, there's evidence and that needs to be presented. You need to pay attention. You need to just clear your mind of your biases and your predispositions and just listen.
There's a lot of national attention on this case, a lot of national donations. How do you maintain your judicial impartiality with all of this partisan rhetoric and money?
I'm not offering anything to anybody else. There's no promise of how I'm going to rule on a case or that I'm going to favor this person or that person.
In this race, abortion is a key issue for a lot of Wisconsinites. I know you also have a personal connection when it comes to adoption. Can you share a bit more about that?
Yeah, 23 and 21 years ago, two 18-year-old young women, both still living at home with their parents, still in school, they had the courage to give my wife and I the gift of a family we can't have biologically. And we also, because of our experience, we treasure life even when it's not planned. But judges don't make the law. And this question about abortion, it shouldn't be decided by any judge or any justice. This question should be decided by the voters.
If abortion access ends up in front of the court, how will you separate out your personal values from how you would rule?
It's easy. When I put that robe on, my personal values are gone.
What do you weigh and value in determining whether or not to overturn precedents?
Courts should be very reluctant to overturn precedents. There has to be clearly something wrong, something flawed in the previous precedent. Because if precedents flip back and forth based on change in the makeup of the court, well, then there's no stability.
The Wisconsin State Supreme Court ruled that Biden had in fact won the 2020 election. Do you think that was the right decision?
They totaled up the ballots. You know, in the end, the number of votes for and against, it showed that President Biden had won the state. In terms of questions about was there fraud and other things, it's too late to deal with that. This is why election integrity laws are so important. The legislature needs to make policies that protect election integrity.
So to clarify, do you think that there were any issues with voter fraud in 2020?
I saw the news reports that anybody saw, where we heard that year that there were people who were in nursing homes who had been ruled incompetent for voting for years, who suddenly voted in that election. And we didn't have the special voting deputies in to the sworn voting deputies in to make sure that this is on the up and up. Absolutely, there is some fraud like that, sure.
Are there any cases before the state Supreme Court that you would recuse yourself from?
I don't have any, I'm not aware of anything going on right now that I have any kind of certainly no personal interest for me or my immediate family. You sometimes can't know that till you read the actual filings in the case.
As you know, we just went through a whole Wisconsin Supreme Court election in 2023. How is this race different from then?
I think the biggest difference I've seen is that conservatives are awake this time.